places like Iraq, where activists don't have access to policy spaces, often they take matters into their own hands. So, for example, after 2003, the organizations that were already active around the marshlands, they were the people who bought tractors and destroyed the dams, for example, reflooding the marshes, even though at that time they didn't have any government support or access to policy spaces. And from the perspective of a sort of international community, I think in recent years, the media has played a big role. So, for example, in shedding light on things like pollution from the oil industry, we've been able in Europe to take cases or to take those oil companies to court to hold them to account for the pollution that they're creating in areas such as the south of Iraq and also in areas in the north. Despite the increasingly authoritarian context in Iraq and the closing of civic space, we see an ongoing grassroots movement in the Hawazah marshes in the Misan province in Iraq. In these spaces, despite extreme securitization, despite encroachment from oil companies on all sides, the indigenous people of these lands have continued to refuse to leave and have sort of raised awareness online about what's happening there, have launched transnational campaigns of solidarity, and they've also protested themselves against these sort of extractive industries. And I think that now there's a big opportunity for them to sort of bring this work to a halt or to push back against the extractive industries in this area. I think that increasingly the cuts from international donors like USAID and others that have started leaving Iraq have meant that many of the CSOs have had to get more creative. So I know, for example, several CSOs who have started social enterprises, so small businesses on the side that allow them to ensure continuous funding to their organizations despite cuts by international donors. And this allows them to work independently, set their agendas, and ensure that their staff get paid and their work continues regardless of what's happening internationally. And I think that this is something that has started to emerge more recently in Iraq.